What is up, my friends? I am Mumfy. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for joining. This is my 2020 Toyota Tacoma, and as you can see, I've done quite a few modifications to it. And if you have been following the channel for some time, you can find all of my installs and tips and tricks that I've shown so far on the Tacoma. It's an amazing vehicle, and one of the things I wanted to cover today is an update to a video I did last year talking about my everyday carry in the Tacoma. So we're going to be doing an update. Some things have remained the same, but some things have changed. So let's jump in to this everyday carry on the Toyota Tacoma. All right, as we start off on the driver's side, we'll come in. I'll show you what I got keeping into the door and just kind of moving through the cab as to what I have in my everyday carry. As we swing around into the door, my little door pocket here, I do have some facial coverings, and you'll notice some redundancies that I have in the Tacoma. I have a notepad, and I've got just kind of an auxiliary wallet here for gift cards, things like that. And as we move in, I do have my new driver's side panel here that houses my Switch Pro controller. Still have a couple of slots open, so be sure to stay tuned for more additions on that. Then as we swing over onto the seat, I still have my schma, good for keeping your face covered on dusty trails if you decide to go hiking. Great way to kind of keep yourself cool and dust free. Then as we move in, like I said, lots of redundancies. I've got another face covering here, my USB to charge my phone, got some gum, other things. And as we move up, you'll notice that I do have my RAM mount with the X grip. Open this up, place my phone there. It is on the Taco Garage stealth mount, so be sure to check out that install video. And as we move up to kind of the rear view mirror section, just a couple of little danglies. Obviously, a little car bar here, make the truck smell nice. And then back behind the rear view mirror, I do have a GoPro attachment, so when I decide to shoot some driver's video on GoPro, I have that option there. And I have a couple of patches as well, places that I've been. So Jackson Hole, Yellowstone, that was a really fun trip. And I've also added some extra patches as well. All right, let's move on over to the passenger side. All right, as we move through to the passenger side, nothing too much in the door, still just storage area for water bottles for any of my passengers. But as we come in, you'll notice I do have a USB here plugged in for the passenger into the cigarette lighter. Obviously a couple of masks, and we'll go into kind of the glove box, some needed essentials. Got some napkins here, obviously all my important documents. I have some accessory lights, backup lights just in case. I do have a pair of sunglasses. I do carry quite a few hand warmers, which are really nice to have just in case on those cold days. I have a set of camping utensils in a couple of locations here, good to have. And then a couple of things that I've added are actually some to-go alcohol wipes and some flushable wipes as well, just to make sure that you're nice and clean. The other thing I also like to keep in here are some added pens and writing utensils. All right, as we move into the truck here, we'll work on the center console. As we open this up, you'll notice that I do keep another pair of sunglasses, obviously some spare change in this awesome organizer tray. I do keep a knife. This is a Benchmade. Nice little Benchmade knife here. Always good to have something to be able to cut things like cord. I do keep a flashlight on hand. This is an Olight baton. Really like these flashlights because they have a, as you can see, this little tie here is metal and it's got a magnetic charger. So I like keeping that in here. I do have a nice little Sharpie fine tip pen, obviously for writing. Like I said, redundancies, so I've got a backup light, and something that's always important to kind of have is something to start a fire with, just in case. As we dive in, like I said, redundancy after redundancy. Another pair of sunglasses, that makes 3 in this truck. I have another knife, just kind of a backup knife. This is a little cheap one that I got at Home Depot, little Coast knife. I do have a utility packet in here. And like I said, just another multi-tool. Always good to have a little bit extra in there. I do have a tire gauge as well, just in case. Another secondary wallet. A couple of tie downs. I do have some just hygiene stuff, which is always good to have. Also, just some Advil on hand, sanitizer, gum. You never know when you need to measure something, so I do have a measuring tape in here as well. And with that, that kind of covers the front of the truck. Let's move on to the back. All right, and as we move to the back here, we're on the passenger side. And one of the biggest changes you'll notice is I now have a seat covering. This is a full seat covering for the back passengers. And I got this simply because we do have a couple of dogs. So this actually helps keep the factory cloth nice and clean. It is waterproof. It does actually tuck into all the corners. Underneath it actually has some, raise this up here, you'll see it actually is got some elastic on there that kind of keeps it nice and in place. Now it does hinder getting into the storage underneath the seat, but most of that hasn't changed on this side. You have the jack and your standard tools underneath the seat here. I am still able to get to behind the seat. The nice thing is you can kind of just unclip this, move it around, and then you're able to kind of fully get back in there. And what I have in the back is I do have just a blanket, and I do have a charging station here, a little jumper station that I use for jumping the truck if need be, or added power. I also keep a ice scraper. You still get some frost kind of in the morning here, so always kind of a good idea to keep on hand. And then as we look into the pocket, lots of redundancies, another notepad, good to keep there in case I want to write down any of my thoughts. As we move into the middle here, you'll notice I do have a little garbage bag. This used to be hooked up behind here. It just wraps around the headrest and then dangles here. But because typically the passenger side is for a passenger, I've actually decided to place it right in the middle. It's kind of a nice, easy access for the up front passenger, myself, and then whoever decides to sit back here. Easily able to throw away any sort of garbage. Let's move on to the driver's side. All right, as we move on to the rear driver's side, as we come into the door on the rear passenger, I do have a nice little rag here just to wipe up any messes. Spare water bottle just in case. I can fill this up and still have it on hand if need be from getting back from a hike or anything like that. And as we move in, redundancy, I have another SMAW here. As we look at the back of the driver's chair, you'll notice that I have my MOLLE panel here. I have added some extra things. I have a couple of pouches that I can add things to, like other multi-tools. I did have kind of a small first aid kit in this one. And as we move up, I do have an umbrella. I do have a big mag flashlight. And then one of the latest additions has been this nice bare bones blade. I really like this thing. Looking forward to using that to maybe make some kindling. It's a nice big blade. Good for camping. Now, as we pop back behind the passenger seat, one of the things that hasn't changed back here is I do have, this bag is full of tie downs. I do have a big net and then some other bungees. So I keep that in a bag here. This is another backup first aid kit. AAA, nice compact first aid kit, like having this here. And then I've got some larger ratchet straps that I keep here. The other thing I keep is a nice big bundle of rope, just in case I need to tie down things that are super big in the bed. And then as we come underneath, I'll go ahead and remove the elastic strap that holds the seat cover. We can pop this up. You can see it also has this little retention thing. And then in the bottom here, once again, this is actually another first aid kit. You can see a theme here. I like keeping first aid on hand on top of mine. I do have another scraper and a set of jumper cables, and then a random bungee, which shouldn't be in there. It should be in the bungee bag. And that kind of wraps up what I have in the back of my truck. All right, we've gone over what I keep inside my truck, but I do have a couple of roam boxes up on top. These are the 83 liters, and I have put a couple of things on the driver's side. So let's go up and check out what I got in my roam boxes. I do like the fact that these do have the dampeners, but as we come up, you can see inside here, I do have a spare blanket. And then I've got a really big first aid kit. This is a survival kit. I did pick this up on Amazon. Really good trauma kit. It's color coordinated for quite a bit of different first aid requirements that you might come up across. And then I also have a tool roll. Here I keep a spare set of tools for anything that might come up when needing to either tighten a bolt down or when I'm running into any sort of issue that might require a tool. Haven't put anything in the other one just yet. I'm actually looking at turning that one into a potential recovery gear box, so when that actually happens, stay tuned for that. Well, my friends, thank you for sticking around this long into the video, and I figured I'd treat you guys to a little extra added bonus, my own personal EDC. Kind of what I carry every day that I find useful in the situations that I come across. And I'm also going to throw in a couple of added bonuses here in just a second. So, as for myself, I obviously have my phone. Mine is an iPhone 12 Plus. Always good to have on hand in case you need to get a hold of any emergency contacts. I have my key fob, obviously, to start up the Tacoma, and on my keys, just some random keys that I need, and this awesome little tool. Now, it may not look like much, but what it does have is a carbide blade here for sharpening knives, and it's also got a fine blade cutout as well. Also has a little bottle opener on the back, but what's really cool about this is if you twist it, on the inside, you do have a magnesium fire starter. So all you end up doing is taking the carbide blade here, shave off a little bit, and then you're able to use that as a little fire starter. Pretty handy, always good to have a way to start a fire in any situation. Always good to have on hand. One of the other things that I keep on hand, I do like mini knives. This one is actually from Fox, Italy. It's called the Mini TA, which is a nice little karambit style pocket knife. I really like this thing, great for just quick opening boxes or packages, things like that, or if you just need to cut some line or some quick rope. Got a nice little finger loop there, and it also has a little pocket clip. And then of course, a wallet. This one is from Serman Brands. It's just an Amazon wallet. I really like it simply because it is low profile, keeps bills, cards, and your ID, and then this little pull tab actually gives you access to cards in the back. It's also RFID protected. And then of course I do have an Apple Watch. This ties into my phone. I like getting notifications pretty quickly and keeping up to date on certain things without actually having to dig into my pocket for my phone. And that is typically what I carry on my person on a day-to-day basis. Now, here's some added bonuses when it comes to some pocket knife options. All right, my friends, as I said, I do kind of change up the type of knife I carry day to day. So just kind of going over, here's another little small one. This is a little Gerber knife. I like it because it's got a little keychain on it, plus a little belt clip. But this is a nice little knife, tiny little blade. So fully extended, you can see it just takes up that much of my hand. I really like this thing. It's good for, like I said, opening packages, or if you just need a little scraper. It's a great little knife. This one I have in the coyote brown. It does come in a couple of different colors. I do like the little green accent that comes with the coyote. And it is just a little thumb blade lock to close it. So sometimes I'll carry that instead of my little Fox Mini TA. And moving over to kind of this larger one, this is from CRKT. It's a nice little knife. This is a recent pickup. I do like the OD green that's on here, plus the orange accents. And this is actually called the Overland. It's a nice large blade, as you can see here, kind of a drop tip. It has the locking mechanism here along with a belt clip. Really nice, smooth operation. I really like this knife. Carry this on occasion. Moving over, this is actually the first knife that I've actually purchased for kind of my everyday carry. This is another CRKT, and this one is the Bev-Edge knife. The thing that kind of caught my eye with this one is that it does have a finger release for a nice smooth action there. As you can see, just flicks open, and then you can open it the rest of the way with the little thumb cutout. It does have the CRKT locking mechanism here, belt clip, and it's also got another bottle opener. It's a great little knife. I like this one. Little Tonto style blade. Really nice. Great for just kind of a little pocket carry. And one little last thing that I recently picked up is this little multi-tool from SOG, SOG. Now this thing is pretty cool. It does kind of a belt clip that you can attach to your belt, and then you can lock it into place here so it doesn't, you don't lose it, which is kind of a nice little feature. The other thing is that this center hole, the center button here, is actually the release to remove it from your belt mount. And on the back side you can see this little push button action that locks into this key area here. Now one of the nice things about having a multi-tool is obviously the functionality. This has got a set of pliers on it. It's also got some ruling, so if you need to measure anything, you can kind of do that. Just lay it out flat and get some measurements there. The other thing that it has, as you open up the sides here, is it does have a screwdriver, another bottle opener, a pair of scissors, and on the other side, as we open this up, it does have a knife. You do have a flathead screwdriver and kind of a file along with another bottle opener. How many bottle openers do you really need? As many as you can get your hands on. So great little tool here, and it's great that it just kind of locks into place, keys into the little housing there, and it locks. And that covers kind of the ranges of knives that I have collected so far. All right, my friends, thank you so much for joining me on this video, this EDC video, covering kind of what I carry in my 2020 Toyota Tacoma. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any suggestions on things that I should consider carrying in my Tacoma, leave them in the comment section below. Be sure to hit that like button somewhere down there. And if you haven't already, please subscribe for more videos. I'm always up for suggestions on what you guys would like to see, so be sure to leave that in the comment section below as well. I greatly appreciate you guys. Hope you guys are doing well. And as always, we'll catch you in the next video. Peace.